Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions, a card game, we have Captain America taking on Red Skull in Expert Mode. So for our setup, we'll take a look at our villain here. Red Skull, second version. Scheme of 3, attack of 1 with +1 attack for each side scheme in play. In one reveal, deal each player an encounter card. 16 health per player. And version 3, scheme of 3, attack of 2 with +1 attack for each side scheme. And also on reveal, deal each player an encounter card and 20 health. Schemes, we're using the Red Skull in Standard along with Hydra Assault and Hydra Patrol. Setup, put the Red House into play. Shuffle every other side scheme into a side scheme deck and set them aside. And then we set the Sleeper aside out of play. Then on this side, we're going to have a threshold of 8 for threat. Force response, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. Then the Red House comes in with 3 threat on it. Red Skull cannot take damage. It's an interrupt. When a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. And Captain America, using the power of leadership with him. I'll go over deck construction at the end of the video. He's got 2 for thwart, attack, and defense. His ability is I can do this all day. As an action, discard a card from your hand to ready Captain America. Hand size of 5, starts with 11 hit points. Alter Ego, recovery of 3. Living Legend, reduce the cost of the first ally played each round by 1. And then for setup, search your deck and discard pile for the Captain America shield upgrade and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. And hand size of 6 on this side. So for finishing setup, shuffle our counter deck. We get dealt 1 card. Then we have our side scheme stack here. Give that a final shuffle. And then for Steve Rogers, he will start with 6 cards. And we've got Heroic Strike, Make the Call, a Helicarrier and Quinn Carrier, Hawkeye, and the Triskelion. Only had enough resources for both of those. We will discard these 3 and see what else pops up. All right. Our Super Soldier Serum, Make the Call, and Power of Leadership. So it's going to be a resource turn. So to start off, search your deck and discard pile for a shield. And we'll put that in our hand. And that's going to give us +1 defense, and we gain Retaliate. So our first ally comes in 1 cheaper. So Hawkeye, Power of Leadership. 4-1, attack of 1, 3 health. Comes in with 4 arrow counters. Then as a response, after a minion enters play, remove a counter from him to deal 2 damage to that minion. And he's going to go ahead and thwart for 1. Then we'll bring in our serum here. So resource, exhaust this to generate a physical resource. And we will use that to bring in our shield. And then we'll flip on over. Thwart for 2. Take care of the Red House. Keep this in our hand for next turn. And end our turn, drawing 4 more. Wonder Man, Energy, Hawkeye, and a shield block. So for Red Skull, adds a threat. Then we're going to get a scheme. Mass Chaos. When revealed, each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck and places 1 threat here for each different type of resource icon they discarded this way. So 5 cards going away. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different resource types. We got them all. Then he is going to attack. And I think we're going to defend. So base 1, 2. Nice picture there. That's how this thing's starting. We got 5 damage coming at us. We're blocking 3. We'll take 2 down to 9. And retaliate for 1 down to 15. Then we get another encounter card. First one, he's a Master Strategist. Attached to Red Skull as a forced interrupt. When he activates, give him an additional boost card for each side scheme in play. Then discard this card. And a Hydra Regular. Scheme of 1, attack of 2, 2 health. Insight 1, so when the card's revealed, we place a threat on the main scheme. Then Hawkeye launches an arrow at him. And he's out. Then we will bring in the Quid Carrier with energy and her serum. And that allows us to exhaust it to generate a wild resource, which we are going to do. Use that in Wonder Man to bring in the other Hawkeye. 4-1, attack of 2. It's an action, exhaust this ally, discard a card from your hand, deal X damage to an enemy, where X is the number of printed resources on that card. So she's going to come in, thwart for 1, thwart for another 1, to take 2 off of this. Put that on the right one. Then we will discard a card to ready and thwart for 2 to take care of Mass Chaos. Ending her turn. Drawing 5. Got our Mighty Heroes, Apartment, Fearless Determination, Inspiring Presence, and a Shield block. So we'll go up to 3 here. Get another scheme. Censor the Past. When defeated, each player chooses up to 3 cards in their discard pile and shuffles them into their deck. Got an acceleration, and it's going to get 3 threat. Then he is going to attack. Cap is going to take it for base 1, 2, and 2 boosts. So give the villain a tough status card and another boost. So 7 damage coming our way. We will shield block. When you would take any amount of damage, exhaust your shield, prevent all of that damage, and retaliate. Take care of tough, and that card gets discarded. Then our encounter card, Man Out of Time. We may flip to Alter Ego. We will. Exhaust Steve Rogers to remove this from the game. We'll do that too. Or we could have discarded half the cards in our hand, rounded down. We'll pass on that. So we will go ahead and bring in our Apartment then, using our serum. Then as an Alter Ego action, exhaust our Apartment to draw a card and heal a damage. Drawing in an Agent 13 and go up to 10 health. Our next ally is 1 cheaper. We'll bring in Agent 13 with some Inspiring Presence and the Quid Carrier. And after she enters play, remove 2 threat from a scheme. We'll take it off the main one. Then we're going to flip on over. Fearless Determination, hero action. We get +1 thwart and draw a phase, or draw a card. Getting Mightiest Heroes. So we will exhaust an Avenger character we control to ready another Avenger character we control. Then he will thwart for 2, or I'm sorry, 3, because he's fearless. And that is going to allow us to take 3 cards from our discard pile and shuffle them into our deck. And we will go with our Mighty Heroes, Energy, and Fearless Determination. Give this a good shuffle. Then we've got another one of these in our hand. Exhaust an Avenger. Ready a different Avenger. And he will attack for 2. Skulls down to 13. And we'll just hold on to her for a little bit longer. Ending her turn. All right, Shield Toss, Quinjet, Rapid Response, Avenger's Tower, and Strength. Skull, Adds a threat. Brings out a scheme. We've got prison camps. When defeated, the player who defeated the scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. Acceleration and 3. Then Skull goes to attack. Hawkeye will defend. So 1, 2, 3 damage coming in. Counter card, Bitter Rival. Exhaust a character you control for each side scheme in play. So Hawkeye will exhaust for that. We will have Hulk Strength bring in Avengers Tower. If each of your allies has the Avenger trait, increase your ally limit by 1. And as an action, exhaust this, reduce the cost of the next Avenger ally played this phase by 1. Then we'll go ahead and bring in a Quinn Jet with the Quinn Carrier. Just makes sense that way. Response after your turn begins, place a time counter on the Quinn Jet. It's an action. Put an Avenger ally from your hand into play with printed cost equal to or less than the number of time counters on the Quinn Jet. Then discard it. Then Agent 13 will thwart for 2. Cap will thwart for 2. This allows us to go through our deck and discard pile for an ally and put it into play. And I think that is going to be Vision. Did I already discard him? Don't tell me I forgot to put him in here. All right, that was an oversight on my part. I should have had Vision in here. Well, in that case, we're going to bring in Goliath. And we'll just have him thwart for 2. He's got an attack of 1, but he takes 2 damage, 4 health. It's an action. He gets +4 attack until the end of the phase. And at the end of the phase, discard Goliath. So coming in, thwarting for 2. I'll discard a card to ready Cap. And he'll swing for 2. We'll go ahead and keep our shield toss. Drawing 4 more. So we've got Make the Call, Heroic Strike, Energy, and a Helmet. Thread on the main scheme. New side scheme. Sleeper Awakened. So this scheme cannot leave play while the Sleeper is in play. When revealed, put the Sleeper into play, engage with the first player. When the Sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. So the Sleeper has woken up. He's got a scheme of 1, attack of 3, 5 health. He's an elite Hydra robot. He's got guard, retaliate 1, and toughness. So when revealed, he engages the first player. When defeated, he's removed from the game. And when he comes in, he's going to get shot with an arrow to get rid of toughness. Red Skull's going to attack for base 1, 2, and we'll have Agent 13 step in front of this one. 3, 4. Then the Sleeper will attack and we will defend. So 3 on our 3, retaliate for 1. Then we get an encounter card, Bitter Rival. Exhaust a character you control for each side scheme in play. Hawkeye answers that call. And then for us, get a counter on our Quinn Jet. Going to do a shield toss, discarding 2 cards. So as a hero action, discard X cards from your hand, then return Cap's shield from play to your hand. deal 4 damage to X enemies, which is going to be 2. So that's going to take care of the sleeper. And when he's taken out, we lose that scheme. And Red Skull goes down to 7. Then we'll have the Quinn carry fly our shield back. And it's time for a heroic strike, using our serum for the physical resource. Deal 6 damage to an enemy. And if we paid for that using physical resource, stun that enemy. So he's going down to 1. And stunned. But then Goliath is going to swing for 1. Takes 2 damage from that, which will get rid of our first Red Skull, bringing out this one. So scheme of 3, attack of 2, still gets +1 attack for each side scheme. Deal each player an encounter card. And 20 health. And that's all we've got. Drawing 5. So we've got Nick, Genius, U.S. Agent, Squirrel Girl, and our other serum. So Skull, threat. Next scheme is Hydra Reinforcements. So when defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. It's going to get us an extra encounter card, which is what's terrible about the schemes coming out first. But he goes to attack and is stunned. We get 1 for the normal turn, 1 for the reinforcements. All right. Exo Soldier with toughness. Scheme of 2, attack of 2, and 5 health. Comes into play, gets toughness, gets shot, loses the toughness. Then the villain attacks you. Cap will defend. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 6 coming our way. It's amazing whenever we fight, this comes up. So we block 3 and take 3. Retaliate for 1, down to 19. And then Hail Hydra. Each Hydra minion engaged with the hero makes an attack against that hero. Well, we've got that. Each player who was not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play, engage with them, and shuffles the encounter deck. So we've got 2 damage coming our way. Cap's just going to take it down to 5. Retaliate for 1, and it's our turn. We'll get a Quinjet counter. So we're going to use Genius to bring in our serum. We're going to let our Quinjet with 2 counters on it put an Avenger ally from your hand into play with its printed cost equal to or less than that. To bring in Squirrel Girl, after she enters play, she deals 1 damage to each enemy. So 1 there, 1 there. Going to use his action to give him +4 attack until the end of the phase, so he'll be attacking for 5. Down to 13. And that puts 2 damage on him, so he's out. Then we'll bring in Nick Fury with the U.S. Agent using these other 3 resources. 4 to 2 attack of 2, and after he enters play, we can deal 4 damage to an enemy. We'll choose Red Skull, down to 9. Then attacking for 2, down to 7. Attacking for 1, down to 6. And I think that's all we're going to have here. So they'll take their damage. Actually, instead of him attacking for 2, we'll have him thwart for 2 instead. So when this is defeated, we discard a non-elite minion. And this guy is non-elite. And we will end our turn. Drawing 5. So we've got a Shield Toss, Black Knight, Fearless Determination, Mighty Heroes, and Inspiring Presence. So we get a Threat, get a Scheme, Hydra Patrol. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play, engage with them, and shuffle their encounter deck. 2 Threat. So we've gone through this, that gets shuffled. Red Skull is going to attack. Nick jumps in the way, so 1, 2, 3. 3 damage coming in. Get an encounter card. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. Squirrel Girl. 1, 2, 3. This card resolves during an undefended attack. Discard a support you control. Well, we are defending. We will use Fearless Determination and give us +1 thwart and draw a card into a Fearless Determination. Play that. 4 thwart, drawing a card into Falcon. Give us an encounter card and shuffle. All right. We are going to make the next Avenger we play this phase reduced by 1. Falcon will spend those. So he comes in after he enters play. Look the top 3 cards of the counter deck. For each treachery looked at this way, remove 1 threat from a scheme. So 1, 2, 3. We've got 2 treacheries. So we can remove 2 threat from this scheme. Actually, no. We'll do it over here. To go looking through her discard pile, her deck for a Hydra minion and put it into play. Because we still have Hawkeye with 1 arrow left. Find the Hydra regular. He's being put in play, not revealed, so that doesn't go off. Comes in and gets shot and leaves play. Then Falcon will attack for 2, down to 6. Take a damage. Black Knight will give us some Inspiring Presence. Play only if your identity has the Avenger trait, which we do. Hero action, heal 1 damage from an ally, Falcon, and ready it. So he will ready and swing again for 2. Down to 4. And then for the win, Shield Toss. Discard 1 card. Return her shield from play to her hand. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. So down to 0. So Red Skull was no match for Captain America and his Avenger allies. So that went way smoother than I anticipated. As far as deck construction, for leadership cards, we have 2 with the power of leadership, 3 make the calls, 3 inspiring presence, Miss Heal, Hawkeye, U.S. Agent, Goliath, Hawkeye, Wonder Man, Squirrel Girl, Black Knight, Falcon for allies, and that should have been in there, Vision, Quinjet, Rapid Response, and the Triskelion. And for our basic cards, we got our 3 resources, Quinn Carrier, Helicarrier, and Avengers Tower. Then 3 of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and Nick Fury. That is my deck build for Captain America with leadership against the Red Skull. As always, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.